Destiny Ridge. Hey, g'day viewers, how you going? Hey, today we're going to, no, we're not going for a ride on the bike. You are so immature. You can just stay there, it'll be alright. Sheesh, I get the camera out and it's, oh, we're going for a ride. No, not today, not yet. Maybe later this afternoon. So, what we got, people, is for some, they may see it a little gross, but too bad so sad. I have cleared out an area of the shed, and this will become my toilet, maybe my shower, and, well, my bathroom, right? So what we got is, when I use the toilet at the minute, because it's just me, I just put a toilet seat on the top of a storage barrel, 35 litre storage barrel. Now this is a brand new one, so hasn't been used. Takes about 2 weeks to fill that up. Comes with a big lid, you just screw on. And what you do is you finish your business and you put some sawdust over the top. Now that was a $10 toilet seat on a $30 bucket. So for 40 bucks, you got a toilet. Now, they sell this at the hardware store. They call it animal bedding, probably for rats and mice and whatever. But that's the sawdust I buy. And if I can find I think there's a sawmill about an hour away from here. I'm going to see if I can get a truckload. But anyway, I've got a bag over there, a 1 ton bag, which I'll get them to fill up. But anyway, so that's what I do. So when you're finished, you do the wipey cleany thing, and you put sawdust on the top, put the lid on, and when you open it again, you don't get the smell because the sawdust takes all that away. All right, so that's what's happened. So what I'm doing is I'm actually building a box to house that. So if anyone comes to the house or to the farm, I've actually got a toilet that they can use if they need to, especially if there's females. Plus, I don't really have a room that I use the toilet in. It's just in there. So what I do is I open up the back door, I let the sun in, and while I'm reading or watching YouTube videos on my iPad, I'm well, going to the toilet. So what I'm going to do is I've done a bit of a sketch of the panels that I need, and I believe I can get it all out of one. So that's what I believe I need based on that container, and I've got 2 of them, so I can swap them out if I need to, if I have a really bad curry or something. Anyway, that's just a joke. So 450, now this is 1200 wide, I believe. Let's see if it's exactly 1200. It's 1202 millimeters. Not worried about 2 millimeters. That's okay. So, first thing is 600 by 455 by 2. So, get yourself a pencil, which I got. Here. Now, when you go to do some carpentry, get yourself one of these square pencils. Excellent. But then you say, how do you sharpen it, Cliff? Because it's square. Well, you get your knife and you take my dad was a carpenter, may he rest in peace, and you just sharpen the end. See, so it's nice and fine. So that's that. Now 455 is there. Yep. Bit windy today. It's a lovely breeze. 455. When I was at my other farm, I worked at a company that had a foundry, and this will be a good test for my square to see if it's square. I'm going to have to weigh you. Now don't hit your head, idiot, and see if it's square and it's going to line up. Well, it doesn't. It doesn't line up, I don't think. Does it? Yeah, it does. Good. Does line up. Well, that was very good. This is my square from when I was an apprentice. It's still got the calibration sticker on for all those that worked at Bradkin or A&I. Yeah. I can't read it anymore, but I would imagine it says next calibration date 1985 sometime. So, now make sure I'm not going to be cutting my stool, my saw stool. Might just shift that other side back a little. And here we go. Now, I can't remember which side. Oh, is it that side? No. Is it that side? No. Solar's doing a good job today. It's powering up my power tools. All right, let's just check our measurements. 455. Yes. 455. Yes. That's very good. Now, I need a bit of weight. I'll tell you why. Oh, I want to cut one at 600. Now, 600's more than halfway, so hope you guys can see. Anyway, look, I'll show you. So, just in case, see, hang on, 455 and 455. These are the two sides. So the left and right. Now 600. Now don't you get in the way, big fella. No. Yeah. Never had this sound before, have you, big fella? Hey, have you, Sonny? Excited. What's going on, Dad? Well, you just stay at the road so you don't end up with a short nose. That'll be good. Yep. Square. This is called a framing square. For those that need to know. Now, pull that back this way a bit. And sides. Perfect. Perfecto mundo. Now, what size do I need? I need 2 at 500 long, 455. So, which is the best way to go? 450, which is the most economical way? Now, it's 1200 wide. So if I go 455 and then go 500 and 500, yes, I could do that. Yeah. Because if you go 500 deep, and then go 455 by 455, I'll have more waste. So, it's all about saving waste. We don't want to waste any of this. Now, I bought this at Bunnings, which is, I think, like the American Harbour Freight. So, it's sort of like the Harbour Freight that you got in America. So let me just bend that down so you can see. Oh, you got your ball, mate. Well, I can't play today, sorry. 455. Oh, you gotta watch. You know, power leads can be such mongrels. They, and 455. And I'll put the square on. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. I hope so. And this side. I'm being a bit careful today. I think I've told you people before, told you YouTubers, my subscribers, that my grandfather is a little bit of a joker when he was alive. He used to love to do practical jokes. Well, I'm of the opinion that we all go through the gates of truth when we're finished, and you get classified into your, how can I put it, degree of goodness in the world, and in that in saying that, what I mean is, if you were an angel, helped everybody all the time, and you passed away, when you get to heaven, or what we call heaven, or into the next phase, you pass through the gates and you're classified. Now, go away, puppy. No, I'm talking here. Anyway, he doesn't care. He's playing with his ball. He's happy. No, I'm not playing. Anyway, so let me get back to the story. So, you pass away. Many people have described floating above their own body and then appearing with relatives in a very, very calm place. And I'm saying that that's what happens. And it doesn't matter if you're cruel, if you're a bully, a murderer, or whatever. You go, stop it, please. No more, no. Go to the same place, and what happens is you get graded. So, if you've been horrible your whole life, your soul will be darkened. And the more evil you are, the darker that soul. Now, the better you are, and the more kind, helpful, and you are good to society, then your soul is lighter, until it's like if you were a baby that was a day old and you passed away and you had no sin, you'd be like a bright white, or a very, very bright soul. Sonny, I'm talking here. He was actually lying on top of it, thinking that he was hugging it. Anyway, he loves playing with his ball. Anyway, so let's get back to this. So you pass away, you go to the gates, you get classified. Now, if you get your own little realm where you can sit and meditate and you can be calm. If you want to go and see somebody, or be with them or guide them, then you just think about that person and you can be with them and you can guide them. Now, by guiding, I mean you can whisper in their ear or their mind. You know how you hear these, your mind says things to you? Well, sometimes if you've got a grandfather that was a joker, he does things. So, you know how you lose your keys? You know, he's going to be a bright spark. He's going to be a bright soul. No, I'm not playing. Just because I'm outside. All right. Oh. Anyway, so I believe you can brighten up your soul if you go through the gates and you've got a dark soul, that you can actually brighten up that soul by being kind, reflecting on your life, in a very peaceful position. Now, if you're a very dark soul, and you're evil, like, you know, you killed many people and you were a warmonger, and then your soul will be very, very dark. And what will happen is you won't want to be in a very peaceful place. You won't want to be in a very peaceful place. So you, and if you're around very bright souls, you'll become very uncomfortable, and to the point where it's very you need to get away from them. So what happens is they come back down to earth and they try and feel what they felt before in their previous life. So they will encourage people to do bad things. So if you're around a spirit that's got a dark soul, you might get angry all the time. And what you need to do is you need to remind that soul that you don't want them there, and you tell them to go away. Now, your ancestors can help you get rid of the dark soul by sending light souls your way. And you can ask them to do that. Now, there are also souls that are better than light and dark. They're the are you right? The soul that we may call a creator or God is a red colour, and the darker the shade red, the more omnipotent that being. So, and they run the gates, and they help assist souls through the gates and explain to them what they'll need to do to get better or whatever. So and the red ones can send you back through children when they're born, so that the souls are there. Now, more people are getting born, well, just about more people are getting born than are dying. So there are very bright new souls which are pure light, that are brought into the world. But sometimes you get a child that's very naughty, and they may have been one of these black souls or dark souls in a previous life. Now, a dark soul may get more dark souls, and they may come into a street and they feed off the anger and the hurt and the confusion. So they hang out at places like jails, they hang out at places like wars, they hang out at places like government, like Congress and places like that, where decisions are made to hurt people, and they feed off of that, and they can persuade people to do that. But anyway, that's my thought. Now let's get back to this. So my grandfather was a bit of a joker, and sometimes he comes and sees me and he helps me. Now, I don't necessarily want his help because he's a bit of a joker. Like that last bit, did you? No, but it's coming off anyway, a scrap. So turn it around, and we want I say we want? 550. No, 500. 500 back, front and back. Now make sure it's 455. Yep. 454, my mill out there. A bit rough there too. Oh, maybe the blade's not as sharp as I thought it was. I've never sharpened it. And I'm sure it will complete this job. So, 500. This will be the front. Now, if I was confident that I knew the thickness of the blade, I could measure the second 500, but I'm not going to. I'm going to cut this one first and then I'll check it out. One end. And this one's a bit rough. That's it. I don't know why, but it is. Yep. There we go. I think I'll have a little bit left over. Realised what might be the issue. Because I'm working off the solar, if the fridge decides to come on while I'm cutting, it may drop the voltage from 240, which is what we use in Australia. Everywhere we don't use 120. 240 down to like 210 or 220. And the saw will run slower. So that's what it might be. Now, we need 550. 550 wide. Then we need a 525 and a 100. Now this is the top bit. Top. Yeah. So I might just put you back over there so you don't fall down. Anyway, tell me what you think about my theory. So the red or pink, very dark pink spirits might be people like Jesus, the disciples, you know, all of the Hindi, all of the deities, Buddha, the people around the world worship in their different religions, would be red. Obviously there's other deities as well, you know, the evil ones. They are obviously there, but they don't fulfill a role on the gates, but do assist with evil throughout the world by interacting with the very dark souls. Anyway, so I think there's too many people in the world that have died and come back with past life experiences. Most people don't come back. You know, they die of a heart attack or a car accident or whatever. This week, 31 years ago, in 1982, my brother died in a car accident, and we still miss him. And I know he was a bright soul. He never hurt anybody. He was kind, caring. It was a month off of his 16th birthday. He wasn't driving, he was a passenger in the car. Another car came through a stop sign and hit their car, and he never woke up from a coma. But so this week is very spiritual to my family, that my brother Rodney did pass away on the 30th, and you know, one day, I don't know, 20 years, 25 years, 2 months, who knows when I'm going to pass away. We all do. That's part of life. And I know that I'll meet him again. And I hope that he's waiting for me to help me through my transition to the next stage. So you should never fear death, because this life is only just a phase to the next life. And maybe the next life after that. But yeah, so I just, getting back to my grandfather, look, he was a nice man. He gave me some fishing rods and all that sort of stuff. Yes, they were broken or bowed, but you know, he used to take us on hay rides down to the creek on his farm and all that sort of stuff. And my grandmother was a beautiful lady, very kind, helped out, you know, communities by doing social work and things like that, even up to when she you know, was very old. She was even crocheting booties for premature children, and would take them down to the hospital and donate them to the hospital so that premature children had booties. You know, she was a very kind soul. So I know that she can get rid of my grandfather, and I pray that she does and keep him away, because he likes to play jokes still. I know the other day I was wearing thongs, and you should never wear thongs outside on a farm, not in Australia. Not really, not when there's things that can kill you everywhere. Anyway, you would have seen the video of blowing out the air filters and everything on Vader. And when I set up that air compressor, I went to walk back inside, and I don't know how it happened, but you call them flip-flops, but the air hose got caught in between my toes and the flip-flop, And I tried to shake it out, and I thought I had, but I went to walk again and, well, face planted in the dirt. And that was a bit of a lesson. Don't wear flip-flops or what we call thongs out on the farm. So that's why I have my boots on. Anyway, let's get back to this. Try and get this finished sometime today. Oh dear. Oh, look it, we're over. Now we're going to go back a fair bit this time because I need 500. Oh, is that right? Yes, that'll be all right. So I need 550. Yes, 550 wide. I need one at 525 by 550 and one at 100 by 550, because that 100 will become the part where you hinge the lid to come up so you can take the bucket away and empty it. So what I say was 550. Oh, yes, 550. Check that solar and see what it's running at. You can come for a walk. Oh, heaps. Haven't drained any out. Look, 13.2 volts. So this bank is running 13 volts. That's the inverter. It's running 13. I don't know what it goes to when I start the saw, but it's obviously bouncing back to because it's sunny. But the amount of solar panels that I have, 5, is enough to fill up that 8 batteries from my usage overnight and the day before by about 8:30 in the morning. I have a lot more solar panels sitting down the bottom that I could use if I need to, but it would seem I don't need to. Can you hear the honey eater? No? Not going to do it now. That's good. That's a bird called a honey eater. Just in the tree just up here. They make a beautiful sound. It's like they're talking. Well, they probably are to each other. Now, that's not good. That'll do. We'll put some weight on this one. I love it. I love honey eaters. Beautiful looking bird too. Lovely blue cheeks. Anyway, get this done. 550. Yep. Now we need 525 this way, and this will be the lid, the top, that I've got to cut a hole in so that I can poo, well, you know what I mean, go to the toilet. This will become the seat, which I'll have to sand. I mean, we don't want splinters, do we? Splinters aren't good in a toilet seat. No, they're not. There we go. All right. And that's why you put a weight on the other end, so it doesn't tilt. You don't want it to tilt. Look at that. Horrible. And one lid. Very nice. Whew. You can buy these things, but they're much smaller than what I'm making. I think they're for an average body. This ain't no average body. It's too big, too nice, too... Hey, don't laugh. Oh, you're a funny dog. Where'd you put my tape? Oh, it's over there. Tape. So we need one at 550 by 100 mil, which will become the part that the hinges go on to pick up the lid. Can you smell something? Hey, what is it? What's the matter? Hey? Oh, it's a woolly wagtail. Why have with you? Good boy. I like him. Oh, we got a plane going over. Lovely. Well, that's all we need to cut with the ply, but we do need to start drilling and countersinking and whatever, so I can, and I've got some pine I've got to put on the inside. So I'll stop it there, then I'll come back in a second. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Ring the little bell for notifications. See you next time.